From previous collaborations to real-life inspirations, these are the behind-the-scenes facts about the cast of Beef fans didn't know. Netflix Beef is really taking off. Produced by the esteemed A24 Pictures, the hit comedy drama has left a real impact for its hilarious and occasionally gut-wrenching showcase of obsessive pettiness. Created by Lee Sung-jin, the show stars Steven Yeun and Ali Wong as Danny Cho and Amy Lau, two people whose lives spiral out of control after a seemingly innocuous road rage incident pits them against each other. Beef has been universally praised for its writing, direction, and performances, particularly those of Wong and Yeun. But it's also received enormous acclaim for its portrayal of a wide variety of Asian American experiences. The series runs for 10 episodes and is packed with memorable characters and scenes. With such a diverse range of characters and people playing them, it should be no surprise to viewers that the behind-the-scenes facts are almost as interesting as the show itself.
You know, we actually had to have 2 different companies come out and do the cabinetry. It was a whole thing. Took forever to finish. But, you know, worked out.
So let's tuck into some behind-the-scenes facts about Beef, shall we? Steven Yeun and Ali Wong have been off-screen friends for a long time, but Beef marks the first time they've worked together on set before. In fact, Ali said that she was incredibly intimidated at the prospect of acting opposite Steven because he had been nominated for the Oscar for Best Actor for his performance in Minari, not long before they started working on Beef. Since the show would be Ali's first dramatic lead role, she was understandably nervous at the idea of being compared to Steven on set. Apparently, it was Steven himself who reassured her before filming. Ali spoke to The Hollywood Reporter, saying, "Before filming, he looked me in the eye and said, 'I don't know anything you don't know,' and either he's a really good actor or he meant it, because it really leveled the playing field. If he hadn't said that to me, I don't know if I would have been able to perform the way I did." Seems like Ali and Steven get along much better than their characters do. Steven is probably most well known for his breakout role in AMC's The Walking Dead. However, he has established himself as an incredibly talented actor on the Hollywood scene. Ali, on the other hand, hasn't really appeared in any dramatic roles until now, starting her career as a stand-up comedian, as well as writing and acting in largely comedic roles.
And I dropped him off at Golden Gate Park and watched him run into the middle with all his other homeless friends. And I was like, oh no.
In fact, she wrote and starred in a Netflix original film, Always Be My Maybe, which was confusing enough, about a Korean chef and featured a lot of beauty shots of beef. Not that Beef is about actual beef, you get what I mean. While Beef marks the pair's first live-action collaboration, they did actually work together on the animated series Tuca and Birdie on Adult Swim. Although in a bit of a change of pace, they actually play a couple, rather than mortal enemies. The series centered around 2 anthropomorphic female birds, Tuca the toucan and Birdie the song thrush. The show's episodes mainly focus on the two's relationships with each other and with their peers. Ali provided the voice of Birdie, while Steven played the role of Speckle, her boyfriend. Funnily enough, Beef series creator Lee Sung-jin, who also goes by the pen name Sunny Lee, actually wrote for Tuca and Birdie. Tuca and Birdie has received critical acclaim for its portrayal of adulthood and friendship-driven themes, as well as its humor, not unlike Beef. Although the animated series did see them working together, since they had never worked on set, the pair were worried about whether or not they would actually have the right chemistry for Beef.
Maybe that's why everything is the way it is.
God's just trying not to feel alone in nothingness.
You have never talked to anybody like this before.
Although I think it's fair to say that they definitely hit it out of the park. Aside from Tuca and Birdie, Sunny Lee cut his teeth writing for comedy shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Two Broke Girls. But whilst he has a lot of experience writing for TV, Beef is actually his first outing as a series creator. It's pretty incredible for a first-time creator, don't you think? It also marked the first time he ever directed too. In fact, Sunny spoke about how the first scene he directed was actually the last scene of the season. Now this is a quick reminder to all that shows aren't shot in sequence. But still, what a doozy to direct off the bat. What makes it even more impressive is the fact that Sunny actually directed the entire scene remotely. See, the series creator actually had COVID at the time, so he was unable to be on set. Instead, he had an assistant carrying around an iPad which he was video calling in on so he could direct the scene from home. The idea for Beef was sparked by Sunny's own road rage experience in LA. Apparently, someone in a white SUV pulled up next to him at a traffic light and began honking and screaming at him because the light had turned green. What's more, Sunny, like the character of Danny, followed the driver home.
Where the fuck do you think you're going? Oh my God, you fucking idiot. What are you doing?
I wasn't in a particularly bad mood that day, but I sort of was like, you know what? That's not okay to do, and I'm going to follow you home, he told Vanity Fair. Thankfully, nothing came of the incident, but it did inspire him to write Beef. There was just a lot that happened there that made me kind of pause and go, oh, I'm so focused on my reality and my blinders and my subjective view of this incident. I'm sure from his point of view, here I am in a very low BMW, and we're probably reflecting the same sort of projections onto one another. Sonny went to great lengths to work with some pretty multi-talented artists on the series. David Cho, who plays Danny's sketchy cousin Isaac, is actually an accomplished painter. In fact, Cho actually painted the series title cards. But Cho isn't the only artist who appears on screen. Joseph Lee, who plays Amy's sculptor husband George, is also a sculptor himself in real life. Although it seems that none of his creations actually appear on screen, his experience no doubt helped him bring his character to life. Ali actually took one of Georgie's vases as well as Amy's glasses as keepsakes after filming Wrapped. Ali did admit, however, that she doesn't actually wear Amy's glasses. They're so different from the glasses that I choose to wear. They're so architectural and thin and tasteful and almost invisible and neutral. The glasses I wear are generally very oversized and a little more editorial, Ali said. Ali and Steven also serve as executive producers on the show, which meant they had a lot of input when it came to the writing. In fact, it was actually Ali who suggested that Amy climb into Danny's hospital bed in the final episode of the series. I personally think it was a great choice and provided a really unexpected but moving final moment of the season. Although they did have a lot of input, due to the series' streamlined filming schedule, there wasn't a lot of room for improvisation. The cast was allowed to discuss character motivation and lines of dialogue with Sonny, however, there just wasn't really the time for them to riff. This was especially difficult for Ali, who is an incredibly accomplished stand-up comedian and no doubt would have appreciated a bit of wriggle room. That being said, one of the great strengths of the show is really how measured and clear the writing is. Sonny and Steven also bonded over their shared experiences in Korean churches growing up. A lot of the subplot involving Danny finding a church community after he hits rock bottom, only to exploit the church for money, is heavily based on Steven and Sonny's shared recollection of what growing up in those communities was like. It was Steven's idea to have Danny sing Amazing Grace in such a cheesy, tongue-in-cheek church rendition. Additionally, the characters' backgrounds all align with their actors. For example, Amy and Ali are both Chinese Vietnamese, whereas Danny, like Steven, is Korean. One thing that was important to everyone involved with the series was highlighting the diversity that exists within the Asian American experience. Beef does an excellent job of showing the differences between the various communities, which is honestly a new and refreshing take. So there you have it. From real-life inspirations to previous collaborations, those were behind-the-scenes facts about the cast of Beef fans didn't know.